Hey everyone, welcome back to a Broken but Boosted video. Ashley here. Today's just an introduction video. Firstly, just to talk about the car and go from there really, and what the plans are over the next couple of years, or hopefully. So first off, we've got the body kit, and this is an MX-5 Mark II. It's a Mark 2.5. It's a 2002 1.8 VVT. It's the second MX-5 that I've had. The first one was a 99 1.6, which I got turboed, and if you're on my Instagram or anything like that, you'll see that there's quite a bit of information on there. But unfortunately I had a load of problems with it and the shell ended up rusting out, so I've removed the engine, removed all the parts from that car, and the plan is to get everything moved on to this one. One other thing I wanted to mention is we had some issues with the audio not being so great, so we've upgraded now to basically cases, or whatever it is, the media mod, and the plan is to hopefully see what that's like and then go from there. We've also looked at some of the DJI microphones and possibly invest in those. If anyone has any recommendations on wireless microphones, then please do let us know. Anyway, back to the car. So the plan is to get all the parts, as I say, the turbo and everything, over onto this car, but it's slow progress, because obviously I've got to buy a new ECU, and I've also got to buy a new manifold and possibly downpipe. I'm hoping to be able to wiggle that into place. So coming round, what we've got is one of the Firefly Deuce kits. It's just thankfully they had an offer on a couple of years ago, and it was like 40% off or something crazy, so I just bought it. I had it in my garage for like 2 years, because the plan was to always learn to paint and actually go from there. But anyway, my mates invited me to the BHP show, and me, my partner and my best mate all scrambled to try and actually get it painted. Unfortunately we could only do the body kit, but we managed to actually get it to fit, which was horrible after it had been squeezed in bubble wrap for 2 to 3 years. So coming round, we've also got we've got some Rotor Zero. They're 15 by 8s, and we've got some 195s on them now, whereas before I did have 185 45s, and these are 195 50s, which makes all the difference, and it actually looks much better in the arches and suits the car much better. It's running the same suspension I had in the 1.6, which I've brought over to this car, which is the Meister R suspension, and yeah, rides absolutely lovely, but unfortunately got a few other issues. We'll go into that. Anyway, moving round, we've got gear knob and steering wheel. It's got the it's obviously just a Momo old steering wheel that I got off my mate, just for the second. I do want to get a deep dish wheel, because I don't enjoy my fingers hitting the indicator stalk, but that's mainly because I went for one of the Workspell short adapters, and the problem with that is when you go and get a flat wheel on there, your fingers are way too close to everything. So the plan is to get a quick release, and at some point, but the £250–300 price mark is not something I want to spend yet. And then if you come over, we've also got the likewise gear knob, which is I think over in Australia, or is it New Zealand, and that's also embossed with the Broken but Boosted logo, and yeah, that was an awesome part to fit. It feels much better, but I'm still not 100% sure if I want to use the 6-inch extension. But as soon as I get the short shifter installed, it should be much better than it is currently, because at the moment it's going to the end points of what the actual gator can go to, and yeah, it's not the greatest for shifting. But other than that, there's not really many other mods to the car. It's got just a MX-5 parts back box on it, and nothing really else. But anyway, moving on to the other parts, bits and pieces, and what we're planning to actually get fitted to this car, and yeah, we'll go from there. So moving on to the actual fun parts. This is the 1.6 engine out of the green MX-5, or the 99 MX-5 that I had before, and this is also the 5-speed gearbox that come out of it. Thankfully the gearbox is all good still, and if you come in down here, you'll see I've got an ACT clutch, which was rated I think up to 300 foot-pounds, and which is a hybrid clutch, and then I've also got the Lightning flywheel. I believe that one's from G19. And moving around, we've got the Kraken manifold and downpipe, and we've also got that mated to a GT25 60R. I went for the 60R over the 54, even with a few people said to go for the 54, but to be honest, I'm used to older cars with a bit more lag, so I don't mind it. And to be honest, from all the graphs that I've seen, it was like 1 to 200 RPM different, so it was nothing I would care about. But either way, moving this over onto the 1.8 engine should be perfect, especially with the VVT. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to have it over there. I've also got full braided lines for oil and coolant, and on this engine I did get the sump welded, which is what the plan is with that engine, which is half the problem with me not wanting to just put all the parts on straight away, because I need to get the engine taken out. Well, obviously I need to be getting this sorted first before I can use the engine crane. But I need to get the engine out of that car so that I can even get the sump taken off and get it welded, because I really don't want to be taking off the subframe for any other reason. But the plan is obviously take this off, buy the 1.8 manifold, and get everything mounted onto that car, and hopefully we should be good to go. That has obviously got the 6-speed as well, so it should be able to handle the power quite happily. The engine I think's on 120,000 miles, so we'll see how that fares. But obviously engines, as you know, are a couple £100, so they're not the end of the world. And with a crane and you know, a couple of beers and a good evening, you can get the engine changed over. We've also got down here, you'll see a full custom exhaust that I got welded up. It's looking a bit rusty now, a bit worse for wear, but there's also a cat and a decat pipe there. And yeah, that absolutely sounds naughty, which you might have seen in some of the Instagram videos. But the plan is to have that on there so that I can interchange and make sure that I'm, you know, fully legal as it needs to be. But anyway, that's the plan, is get all of this put onto the new car and have some build logs of us actually putting everything on there and other bits and pieces. This is the hardtop from the green MX-5 that I had. The plan is to get this sanded down and painted in the same purple and put on the car the same time as we get the rest of the car painted. But it's all slow progress because buying bit by bit, and I think I worked out to be another £300 to £400 worth of paint to actually get before I can get it done. But other than that, we've also got a few other parts like intakes and intercoolers, and the intercooler and bits and pieces back there. Also a Mishimoto radiator and a couple of other parts that I need to get fitted. But as I say, we'll include those into the build logs and we'll go from there. So we'll have to see how well that goes. But that's pretty much it for now, and thank you very much for viewing, and we'd like to hear from you. If there's anything you'd like to recommend for us to do, then please do get into the comments, and if there's any recommendations on audio gear and bits and pieces, then please do let us know.